Good morning, Saints. I hope you had a great first week. My name is Vincent Smith.
And I'm Zach Harrison.
And this is SFHS Today. In world news, there was devastating flooding in Libya on Monday last week from two major dams. According to CNN, there is at least 8,000 people dead and more than 10,000 missing.
In national news, with COVID rates on the rise, the CDC is recommending people update their COVID vaccines for everyone 6 months and over, CNBC reported.
In school news, Senior Sunrise was canceled and rescheduled for Friday, September 29th because of rain. Also, homecoming is this week, and the Saints play Sock Rabbit Storm this Friday.
Speaking of homecoming, reporters Adam Grubb and Tom Weber went out and spoke with Student Council President Rachel Kopet about yesterday's Pep Fest and what else to expect for this week.
On Monday, we had our Pep Fest, which we did Hungry Hungry Hippos, and we did the Captain Balloon Popping Game, which basically the captains will pop a balloon maybe with their chest, sitting down, laying down. It was super fun. And we also had the dance team do their hip-hop routine, and they also did a guys-girl dance where some of the girls got to do a little Barbie dance with the guys. Tuesday is going to be twinning day, so you twin with someone. Wednesday is Dress for the Red Carpet Day, so look really nice. Thursday is going to be Barbie and Ken Day, and Friday is Saints Day. And then finally, this Friday is our boys football homecoming game where they will be playing against Sock Rapids here at home at 7 p.m. On Saturday, we have our dance from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., $15 pre-sale, and then $20 at the door. There are no outside guests that we can have, and dress for Old Hollywood theme.
Thank you for all that information about homecoming.
Also, as the year begins, students should know about the resources available to anyone who may need a little extra help. Codys Closet is stocked with personal hygiene items, clothing, school supplies, and food. Our reporters Jocelyn, Trinity, and Nola got more information.
So Codys Closet was actually started by a mom of a student, not at our school, but a different school. Her son ended up passing away. And to help, and his name was Cody, and to help remember him, she started these closets that would go into schools and provide hygiene supplies to students, because she always had hygiene supplies at her house, and her son's friends would always come over and she would always use them, and she thought this was a great way to remember her son by doing this.
I think it's important that we have Codys Closet at St. Francis High School so our students have access to different items that they might need: backpacks, clothing, toiletries, food, winter items, cleaning products.
Right now, so there's Codys Closet, which is the hygiene stuff. There's also a food shelf, so there is some food and clothing and school supplies up there.
If a student needed to come to Codys Closet, what could he or she do to get access to this?
Great question. So they would come to the counseling office. They can meet with either myself or Miss Moss at the front desk and let us know if they need something, or they can also meet with their counselor and they will bring them down here.
How are we able to supply this for students?
Well, sometimes students have done food drives, and some of the food went to like local food shelves. Some of it we kept here, or some of the supplies we kept here. We've also gotten a lot of donations from the community. Some of the churches and parents and families in the community have donated either money or supplies.
Thanks for that information and the history behind Codys Closet. Make sure to see Miss Abraham in the Student Union in order to access this service.
With the school year starting again, we have new teachers that have joined us. This week, I went out and spoke to Miss Randolph about some of the places she's been to before and what it's like to be here at St. Francis in this week's Teacher Feature. What are your first impressions of St. Francis High School?
Everyone is so friendly. All of my coworkers have been extremely welcoming. The students have also been very kind to me.
Where are some of the places that you've been before?
If you've been in my class, you watched my little introduction slideshow, but I've actually been to 22 different countries. I've lived in 4 different countries besides the United States. I worked in Ireland as a teacher. I studied abroad in France. I did my student teaching in Australia, and I worked in Japan for a year.
What are some things that you're excited about learning or looking forward to this coming school year?
I'm really excited to get to know the students more. Right now, I'm very new, and so I haven't been able to really build a bunch of relationships. I walk around the hallway and no one knows who I am. So yeah, I really just want to get to know people. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Thanks for that, and welcome Miss Randolph to St. Francis.
In this week's RQT, we spoke with some students and teachers to find out what they've been listening to.
It's the random question thing, ding.
What is the last song you listened to?
The last song I listened to was Like a Cowboy by Parker McCollum.
Too Much by Drake.
Why do you like that song?
I don't know, I just like Drake. I think he's good.
Sessions by G Herbo. When Silly by Vaughn. The Scots by Travis Scott.
I Remember Everything by Zach Bryan.
Mine was Smaller Acts by Zach Bryan.
Taylor Swift.
What song?
That one. I don't know.
Vinny, what's the last song you listened to?
We've been learning a new piece in band called Casey Fear, so that's what I've been listening to. What about you, Zach?
I've been listening to a lot of Jack Black's music.
Now let's kick it over to sports.
Hey Saints, I'm Kong.
And I'm Cole.
And this is sports.
In national sports news, the Vikings had a close primetime loss against the Philadelphia Eagles last Thursday. The final score was 28-34, dropping them to 0-2 to start their season.
In worldwide sports news, star player on France's national team, Paul Pogba, has been suspended following a positive drug test for PEDs. The aging midfielder struggled with injuries last year, causing him to miss out on last year's World Cup. Pogba is now waiting for a second sample to get tested. If he tests positive for doping, he likely faces suspension of up to 4 years. In school sports news, the varsity football team took on the Elk River Oaks in a 16-27 loss last Friday. They look to take on the Sauk Rapids Rice Storm this upcoming Friday for homecoming.
The boys' soccer team is now 2-6-1 with a recent 0-2 loss against St. Anthony. The girls suffered a loss against Zimmerman 0-2 and followed it up with a 1-1 tie against Becker on Thursday last week, making their record 1-1-5. We went out and got new boys assistant coach Paul Coleman's and other players' thoughts on the season so far.
The kids are really nice, and we're having some team unity going on. It's a good change of pace for me. I've been officiating soccer for 23 years, and it just happened that this year I'm not officiating, and Mr. Glenn Bagan called me and said, "Do you want to coach soccer with me?" And I said, "That would be great."
It's going pretty good. New team, new challenges, a lot of new kids playing. We're doing pretty good, I'd say, this season.
Soccer season for me is going pretty well. 2 goals, 2 assists on the season so far. As a team, we're improving every game. We have like a .36 win percentage, so we're trying to get that up.
What's it like having a new head coach at soccer?
It's definitely a little bit different. I think during practices, the vibe is a little bit different. It's definitely more strict.
And what's it like being a senior captain?
Bittersweet. It's a lot of fun being able to lead these guys, but, you know, it's this season and it's over for me. So fun, but sad at the same time.
And then what's it like losing all those seniors last year?
I think it's definitely hard because we all miss them a lot. But I think it's also a good thing because all these younger kids are also good.
What's it like playing 2 sports in the same season?
It gets hectic at times, but it's really fun. I really enjoy kicking for the football team and playing soccer as well. But yeah, I think the rest of the season will be pretty good, and I'm excited.
Along with being a senior team captain, you're one of the very few captain or seniors on the team. What's that like?
Also bittersweet. All these guys are going to be playing with each other for the next 2 or 3 years, and for me to be going on them, it's, you know, it's pretty sad, but being able to see them grow in the future will be fun from the sidelines.
I coached soccer with Glenn Bagan starting back in 1986 at Irondale High School. And I coached with Glenn for 4 years, and then I became a soccer official. And then more than 23 years later, we're back working together again.
Continuing with school sports, the tennis team had a 6-1 win over Big Lake last Thursday's match, along with 2 wins and 1 loss over the weekend against Totino Grace and Coon Rapids, with the 1 loss coming from Delano. They plan to face Monticello today and Chisago Lakes on Thursday, ending off the weekend on Saturday with Fridley and Cloquet.
Speaking of tennis, Owen Lamson and Quinn Reed got a word with tennis head coach Joe Fredrickson and star players Macy Haas, McKenna Sanders, Alexa Skogquist, and Josie Lupinick on the season and this upcoming matchup.
The tennis season is going amazing so far. We are currently 9-2. By the time this airs, we'll have 4 more matches played unless we're weather interrupted, so we're hoping to get into double-digit wins by next week.
I joined in 6th grade, so this is going to make it my 5th year on the tennis team.
I joined in 7th grade, so this is my 4th year.
Why did you guys decide to join tennis?
I joined as a way to do something fun in the fall and to try something new.
I always came to the camp during the summer, and then Fred wanted me to play during the fall.
How long have you been a captain?
I've been a captain for 2 years.
What are each of your records?
I am 5-6 so far at 1 singles.
Me and my partner are 11-0.
I am 9-2 at 2 dubs.
How have you improved since last year?
Me and Alexa have improved just because we played together longer. So.
Last year I played 2 singles and I had a pretty good record, and this year I've jumped up quite a bit to the top spot, but I think personally I've gotten better and the competition has also gotten better, so I think overall I've improved a good amount.
I've been more consistent and hitting the ball harder.
Last year I was also at 2 doubles again, so same as this year. Me and my partner have been together for the past 3 years now, so it's more of an improving game mentally with us two and changing our competition every year.
Thanks Owen and Quinn for the interviews. With new sports season comes new coaches.
This year, we have a new coaching couple with Rachel and Dylan Schroeder. Rachel Schroeder took on the head volleyball coaching job for the season. Both of the Schroeders are St. Francis alumni. Haley King-Steele spoke last week with Rachel about their season.
So what is it like being the new head coach?
It is awesome. Obviously, I was an alumni here, so it's pretty cool I get to coach where I used to play. Volleyball is my favorite sport, so sharing it with a bunch of athletes who have the same passion is super cool as well.
Perfect. How is it different than being the assistant coach?
So definitely as the head coach you have a lot more responsibilities. I oversee all of the teams rather than just one team like I did last year. So there's a lot of stress that comes with it, but shout out to all my co-coaches, Lemke, Schuning, and Dickman. Make things run a lot more smoothly with them around.
So what does a coach mean to you?
Being a coach is a huge honor. It's being a role model to all my athletes. It's being someone they can look up to. It's being someone supportive for them. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I love every second of it.
What are you most excited to see in the season?
This season, since game 1, we've already seen a lot of improvement skill-wise. Another main goal I have is the team chemistry we are building. That is something that keeps improving with every practicing game, so I'm excited to see where that takes us.
What's different from being a student athlete here to now being a coach?
That's a hard question. Honestly, I think there's a lot of similarities in being a student athlete to a coach. The most obvious difference is one is doing the learning and working on improving. The role of the coach is doing the planning and tactic training to also have the same end goal.
So I know there's a thing for volleyball players called the Gold Volleyball. What does that mean? What's the purpose of it?
Gold Volleyball, shout out Norton, we brought it back. So after every game we have a MVP or a best teammate. So all the players will vote on who they thought was succeeding the most that night in one of those 2 areas. I think it's good to push the girls to want to strive to be the best on the court that evening, as well as keeping in mind the importance of being a good teammate to one another. So
perfect.
Thanks for the insight. Next week we'll catch up with the other half of this powerful coaching couple.
Did you see the guy-girl dance yesterday?
You bet I did. Hyatt Lindquist was on fire.
That's all we have for this week, Saints. Now back to May.
Before we go, we have a new special segment.
You know them as Clunker, Lemon, Rust Bucket, Death Trap, Disaster on Wheels,
and many other fun names.
Our reporters, Caden, Raymond, Hunter, and Evan, went out in search of our very first Beater of the Week.
Welcome to the new segment, it's Beater of the Week. We searched the school parking lot for the best beater.
What is the reason why you bought it?
I need something for the winter because I don't want to rust out my other truck.
What's wrong with your truck?
Nothing. It's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Why are your body panels different colors? Like the hood?
Well, the tailgate just came with it. The hood's a different color because I crashed it into a tree and messed up the hood pretty good. Everything that could rust off is already rusted off, so there's nothing wrong with it.
Is the frame tweaked?
There's just a hole in it. It's not tweaked.
Do the brakes work?
Yeah, they work awesome. They squeak really loud.
Is there a heater?
Yep, heater works awesome.
AC?
Nope, no AC.
Is there anything in particular you'd like to add about the interior?
It's in mint condition. It's actually pristine. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
How many miles has it got?
208,000.
Thanks for that fun news segment.
Thanks for watching. Stay safe, Saints.